Okay, so listen, y'all. I can't lie. Streamlag might be my biggest op for real. Like, I don't know what's up with Streamlabs sometimes, but that they be tweaking. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. I just had to get that off my chest real fast because I don't know why. I was trying to set up everything, make sure everything was good, and that shit just crashed on me. But besides all that, I told you guys I was gonna be doing like an anime review or anime review, something like that, something along the lines. I don't know if I want to call this an anime review. I might give my score at the end, but like, spoiler alert, I did not give my score at the end. I don't know. I don't mind watching it, but like for me, I don't know. I don't really review too many animes or like give them like a score rating. That's just not how I do. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do it more. But this is just me talking about an anime because I liked it a lot, and it was the most recent one that I finished. So I thought in my mind like, hey, why not talk about it? You know, bring it to the YouTube channel because it is something that I was thinking about doing just a little bit, just like here and there. Not something I want to do often, but why not go ahead and give it a try? Because, you know, 2024, gotta try some new stuff and see what's gonna be happening. So the anime we're gonna be reviewing today, or reviewing, I don't know what to call it, but the anime I'm gonna be talking about today is Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. So let's get right into it. I don't know. I have a whole script and a script or just like a list of things I want to talk about here and there, like get my points across. But other than that, everything is just gonna be off the dome, off the noggin. See what I can say, right? So let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, there's not too much I wanna say because I don't want this video to go in like too in depth or like touch on every single topic here and there. But I do want to like talk about it because I don't know. It just touched me in a way. And not too many animes do that. So that's why I really don't have like a big top 5 or a top 10. I do have a top 3. I won't be talking about it right now, but I do have a top 3 animes that are like my favorites of all time. But for the most part, I like animes that like get me to think. So like I watch a lot of psychological animes and things of that nature because I just want to think about it and more stuff that I can add into my brain to just think about in the background. You know, sometimes whenever I just like I'm deep in thought, I'll just think about it, right? Just give me some ideas on like what's going on and how that relates into the real world. But for the most part, Zom 100 is an anime that I'm probably not going to be going too in depth on, but I do want to talk about it just so like I can get it out there, right? So first thing I want to start off is the main cast, the main characters, right? Because I feel like that's like the first thing you should really start off with when you're like going in depth about something, or not in depth, but like going and talking about something for the first time. Characters. So we have Akira. Anyway, we have Akira, right? And there's a lot I can touch on about this, but I'm not going to because this is not going to be an in-depth. But I will say like some little points in here and there about this character. I think Akira relates a lot heavy on like there are so many things that are really like complex about this character, but simple at the same time. That's why I love him so much. And one of the things I want to talk about is his job, right? This is Zom 100. This is a zombie show at the end of the day, so dystopian type. And I think this is probably the most accurate on what would happen or what would go down for like most people if a zombie like apocalypse were to happen. Because I feel as if, me personally, I would want a zombie apocalypse to happen just so I can see how long I can survive and like how well I would do, and see if my survival instincts will kick in, right? Because I feel like that's like most people's thoughts, you know what I'm saying? So I think it'd be interesting just surviving, getting the government out of the way and all that shit, and just like you versus the world, right? Like Scott Pilgrim versus the world, me versus the world type shit. And so Akira is definitely a character that would be like a lot of people would relate to because he's 23, I believe. He's in this dead-end job, this company, right? And this company is emotionally abuses him. I think they physically abuse. Nah. I don't think they physically abused him, but emotionally abused him, like just draining. And I think a lot of people in this day and age would like know a company type job where they sit in a desk office. I feel like that's what they would describe it. It's very draining for him, and it's not something that he thought about in his life when he was like thinking when he was growing up. That's not something that he wanted, but like he didn't expect it to happen, and it did, right? So it's just draining for him emotionally, mentally, physically, all that. He hasn't had any time to like talk to his family, his friends. He cut everybody out, and it's just this job. And it comes to a point where in Akira's life, he's like, is this really what I thought of how my life would end up, right? And that's a good ass question to really think about, you know what I'm saying? Because in life, there are a lot of goals that people want to obtain, and there are a lot of things that people have a dream for their life and their future. And when you're stuck into this dead end job or this draining company, you really sit back and think like, damn, I'm waking up, I'm going to my job, I'm like getting abused emotionally, mentally, and then coming back home and sleeping. It's a eat, sleep, repeat life cycle, and that's not what a lot of people want in their life and like real life, and that's not what Akira wanted. But he had to come to terms with that when the zombie apocalypse happened, and I thought that was really interesting because that's something I don't want personally. That's not what I want. I don't want to get into too personal, but that's just not what I think for in my life, right? And that's not what Kira wanted, but he got it. So the zombie apocalypse happened. It was like a breath of fresh air, right? To be free. It was like, it's like freedom finally at its finest. Like after like working here for like 3 years, 4 years, it was like a weight off of his shoulders, and he took it and he ran with it. He literally in the first episode, he jumped off a balcony or something like that, and he was just free. He was running, and he was just like, you could see the smile on his face, the tears streaming, like finally I'm free. And I'm like, damn, I felt that in my soul, because like shit, I know people are like that in real life, and people are like really stuck like that. I am so sorry for those people, but like whenever you're finally free and you got that weight off your shoulders, it's like a breath of fresh air, right? And that's something that I could really like feel on like a level of just like understanding, right? And it's just so good. Like this anime is so good, and I'm gonna talk about all of it, but it's just not gonna be like a long streamed video. But anyway, with that weight off his shoulders, he finally got some things that he wanted to get off his chest, and he make a bucket list, right? The 100 bucket list of the dead. That's what it's called. And there's some reason behind why it's called bucket list of the dead, because he makes a bucket list of everything that he's wanted to do in his life. He can finally do that now because he's free from that company. Zombie apocalypse happened, and he's just going with the flow of things. He's doing what he wants, because who's gonna stop him? Who's gonna stop him? Like, sure, zombies are coming, but like, he's not really sweating too much about the zombies, and that's why I kind of love him. He's kind of like a carefree guy in a sense. He still has like some morals and some thoughts going on in his like noodle up here, but like at the end of the day, he just wants to have fun and chill, you know what I'm saying? And I love that. I love that aspect about him. And the next person we have is Akira's friend, Kensho? Yeah, Kensho, right? This big buff ass nigga, right? They used to play, they were on a sports team. I can't remember was it soccer? I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I can't remember. But they were on a sports team together, and like once Akira hit the company, he had a fall off with him, and Kensho went to go do his own thing. He went to go do his own thing, and I think I want to say episode 3, it was like Best Friend of the Dead or something, where they finally met up, and he was stuck in this strip club. I think it was. No, it wasn't a strip club. It was like a hotel or something for like prostitution and shit like that, and he was just stuck drinking. He didn't know where his life was going either, and when Akira found him, it was like, Akira, I know you, right? Yeah, we used to be best friends in college. And like, bro, that nigga is so funny, bro. once that whole depression got out of state, and like they finally hooked up, and they finally like linking together, and like it's just him and Akira, you really saw like his side of his personality and how he's like as a character, and you just fall in love immediately with like how he is, how he acts, how he talks. Like he's just so funny, and he's like the perfect yin to Akira's yang, or vice versa, whatever you want to say. But still, they're perfect as like friends. Like their friendship is really fucking good for this anime, and I love it. It's another breath of fresh air, another relief. They're just going off doing their things, and he has shit down on his Akira's bucket list too. So like they're just like inseparable. They got a bucket list together, and they're going off to do their own thing, right? And we see a character I think before Kensho, Mikazuki. Yeah, Mikazuki. All right, and she is the know-it-all, the know-how. Like not in a bad way, but like she's just really smart, and she's taking this zombie apocalypse in more of like what can I do to survive, the statistical route of thinking, right? Which I think a lot of people are also going to think about when it comes to like a zombie apocalypse. Like that's what you should mainly think about. Like, how am I going to get this? How am I going to get that? What am I going to do about this? Like the plans, plan A, plan B, the plan C, all the backup plans and all the main plans. She got it all calculated to like down to the T, right? And this character works so well in Akira and Kencho's favor because they need somebody to balance that whole, like, yeah, I want to be free and all, but like, what happens if this happens, or what happens if this happens? Because, you know, there was this one instance where it was like Hero of the Dead, episode 5, I want to say, where Akira and Kencho go to like an aquarium, right? And they have to save these people, and Akira puts on like a wetsuit, so the zombies really can't like bite him if he gets infected. Like they'll bite him and it'll still hurt, but he can't get infected, right? So he goes out and be this hero that he wants to be, right? That he wanted his future to be. And he saves these people, and all the scuffle, right? Mikazuki is there too, and she ends up like getting trapped in this aquarium against this, spoiler alert, against this like zombie shark. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is a zombie? Like, that shit is pulling straight out of like some Dead Island or some fucking Dead Rising, I think it's called. Yeah, it's like Dead Rising or something. They're just pulling out these like these like interesting ideas of like zombies and like which way you can go about it. And I think that's really fucking cool for this anime too. But when Mikazuki gets trapped, she has to think of these plans to like tell Akira so they can get out of this. And it's a big ass zombie shark. This shit is massive, and Akira has to deal with this basically all by himself. So while Kencho goes out and makes sure everybody's good, gets all the people out, and at the end, like, you see him take it down. You see that breath of like, we defeated it, right? And like, god damn, did that feel like I was in the situation too? Like, shit, I felt that. Like, holy hell, it was so good. And I think Mikazuki is just perfect for the balance out Kencho and Akira's relationship. And she joins along. It takes a couple episodes, but she does join along eventually after the whole aquarium situation. And before we meet the last main character, we go up into this I want to say this community, right, where it has the main person that was like abusing Akira emotionally and mentally, and person that was abusing Akira, and Akira just like gets all those flashbacks and he gets PTSD from it, because it's been like 4 or 5 episodes now where he hasn't like had to deal with any of that. And then his boss comes back, and it's like, damn, like you could feel like the dread coming off of Akira's body, like realizing like, yeah, I'm free, but like there are still gonna be people out there that like I have in the past that are gonna come back and like haunt me, right? And it's just this episode or two of just like, it's well paced, right? And and it's well paced, and it's done so well to like portray like the boss and the worker, right? It's well portrayed, and it's well paced. Like, sure it's only 2 episodes, but the way it's done, like you can really feel as if Akira still has some shit to do and some things to prove to other people, right? And at the end, he overcomes this, kind of predictable in a sense, but it's also really good, and it feels really good for not only Akira and his best friend, but it's just good for us to like really look on and like realize and reflect like, damn, there are some people in my life that I really do need to just cut off because they're draining me emotionally, mentally, maybe even physically, that I just don't want to take anymore. And it's just all this PTSD coming back and flashbacks and going through all his head. And like when he's in his presence of his boss, he doesn't know how to act. He's not his normal self, right? And I think it's just portrayed so perfectly in a way where you can really feel that, and you can like really apply that to your life and really understand it. And so that's another thing that Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead just does so well, that I think people should go out and watch, just to even if you don't really like it too much, you can really understand the experience and where they're coming from, right? And the last character I want to talk about is Beatrix. She's fun, she's bubbly, she's fun, she's courageous, she's strong, like she's everything that you want in like a main female character, right? And she's done so well. She's a girl from Germany that like loves the Japan culture, and so she comes down, and while she's coming down, boom, the apocalypse happens. So she's stuck in Japan. She goes to Japan, wants to learn more about it, and her main goal is to eat the best sushi of her life. And that's what they do when they meet up with Beatrix. Like, she's in the samurai armor with a fucking katana, and the shit is gas, bro. That shit is tough. Like, you just see her fighting, like, holy hell, this is cold. Like, she's cold, right? And she's so much fun. I think she's perfect. I think this whole crew is balanced and well thought out and well written, in just like a sense of everybody bounces off one another. And that's like another thing I want to go into. I want to go into like the ideologies and the thoughts going on between these characters, because yeah, everybody at the end of the day, everybody, Kencho, Mikazuki, Beatrix, and Akira all have like their different ways of thinking and their different goals they want to complete in life. but at the end of the day, they all come together and they all accept one another and they all go out and do everything that they all want to do. It's so well done. It's not only just simple, but it's also complex and down like to a psychological level of thinking, right? And I think that's another thing that just on 100 Bucket List of the Dead does well. It portrays all of these thoughts and emotions and feelings just well to make you actually feel that anytime you watch the anime, right? And the comedy, this anime is so balanced and like from serious to comedic to like jaw-dropping to all of that. It's just done so well, like to where you can feel the switch up coming, but you can't do anything but laugh at it because it's funny. Like Kensho is just a comedic relief character, but at the same time he's done so well to where it doesn't even feel like that. Like this one nigga's trademark is to take off all of his clothes, just butt booty ass naked, and start running around doing dumb shit. Like the nigga starts fighting zombies butt booty ass naked, bro. Like he's big as shit. He's like 6'4" or something, and that nigga strong nigga, like big strong. You know what I'm saying? But like he just bare ass, cheeks hanging, and just like does not care. And it's so funny every time he's on the screen. It's so funny. You don't know what you're gonna get with him, but whenever you do get it, you can't help but laugh because it's done so well. I'm gassing this anime up. I don't care if I'm dick riding or not. I don't care. It's a great anime, and I watched it. And I just finished watching it, so I have all these thoughts like going around, and I don't know what to talk about first. Hence why I made a list of just like shit I can talk about, and it's just done so well. There's another scene where it helps Akira to realize that this is the zombie apocalypse and everybody is going through their own shit. And there's this one episode where Akira and Kensho want to go and get a widescreen flat TV so they can like play on it or something. I can't remember exactly what the bucket list said, but they go out, right? And zombies are there. So they have to shut down the store. And inside the store, there are these 3 girls, right? I can't list off their names. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just can't do that. But there's this one main character that I want to touch on from these 3 girls, and it's this flight attendant, right? She wanted to be a flight attendant because her first flight, this flight attendant made her feel safe, made her feel comfortable, and it was her first flight as a little kid, and it was like a momentous occasion. It was like a great moment. It was like she became a flight attendant. You know, there were like harsh people on it, or for example, this old man that said like they're nothing but flying waitresses for her, and that really hurt her. But at the end of the day, she understands that flight attendants are so much more than just waitresses. They make you feel comfortable. They make you feel safe. They are giving you reassurance about the flight that's going to go well. And it just touches Akira, right? And he's understanding it. He's relating to it on some type of level. And he explains his backstory too. And right at the end, like Akira says, hey, you should come along with me. This flight attendant unfortunately gets bitten by this zombie that just snuck up on Akira and her. And like right before she turned Akira around, like facing the stairs, and she was like, Akira, go for your goals, do your dreams, like don't ever give up on them. And Akira is just like sitting there in tears, smiling, looking up at the sky like, yeah, I understand, I'm gonna go do my dreams, thank you so much. It's just this great moment. It doesn't feel like it's forced. It doesn't feel as if that they want you to cry. It's more so they want you to understand what she's saying and what Akira is feeling right in this moment. And so she pushes him, and she turns into a zombie. And it's unfortunate. Honestly, I really wanted to see her character more. I was actually really excited for it, and I thought she was perfect for Akira, right? And like, sure, they were joking here and there. Like before this happened, the flight attendant and the 2 other girls, they were joking, and like Kensho and Akira, like, oh my gosh, I'm with Akira's like, oh my gosh, I'm in a room full of ladies, and like what am I gonna do, and like sitting here. But like when it came down to the serious moment, it got serious, and you could tell like it got serious. And it's just done so well to make it doesn't make you feel like Akira's just being a weirdo, but it's just making you understand and helping you understand that Akira is just this person that doesn't really understand too much social cues and like all that stuff. It's just done so well, man. I don't know what else I could say about it, but there is a turning point that comes around like episode 9 where Akira and the gang, right? The gang go out and they want to go find Akira's parents, because that's what this whole, from like episode 1 to now, that's the whole thought that kept coming back. Like Akira wants to make sure his parents are okay, wants to check on his parents, right? And so the gang goes, they take a motorcycle and an RV, and they take a road trip to try and go find Akira's parents and make sure they can go down to the village and try and help them, right? And on the way of this, they stop at a roadblock, right? Like, okay, I guess I gotta walk the rest of the way there. So they walk there, and they're into the forest, and this old man comes out of nowhere. He's a wood builder, right? He builds a lot of things, right? And Akira and them want to help him like build this treehouse so he can be safe and secure. And while they're building this treehouse, Akira and the old man, Mr. Kumano, right? They talk. Akira and Mr. Kumano talk for a little bit, and Akira realizes that he's just an old man that lost his wife and his son in the zombie apocalypse. And this is just another reason for Akira to really understand and like help him like realize that everybody is going through their own emotional trauma because of this apocalypse, right? And it's heart touching. It really is. It helps you understand like what people are going through that have had to deal with this since the zombie apocalypse, right? And at the end, they build this treehouse. They get some more information about the old man, and they go to the village, right? And this is like the main point I want to touch on is family, right? As Dom would say, everything's about family, right? And so Akira and them, they meet up with the villagers, and they find out that Akira's mom and his dad are both okay. They're doing well. They're good. And this is a moment where Akira realizes that I didn't really have too much of a strong bond with my dad and my mom, right? So Akira wants to make it up to them. So he stays in the village for a little bit. They all stay in the village. They want to help around. They want to do as much as they can so Akira can repay them, right? In a sense of just feeling as if he didn't really do anything to conversate with them about anything in his life. And once he was stuck in that dead-end job, eat, sleep, repeat cycle, he didn't really communicate with them too much. So Akira's mom and his dad were worried about him. So he wants to repay them back. And it's just this moment of bonding and just understanding where Akira's mom and his dad are and just like their family relationship, right? Because it's good. And that's what Akira and his dad was going through. Like they were sitting on a porch and they were just drinking together. They were laughing. They were having fun. They were like understanding each other in more of a way than probably could ever be done if this zombie apocalypse didn't happen. If this zombie apocalypse didn't happen, Akira would still be in that dead-end job. Kensho would drink himself to death. Beatrix, who knows what she would do. She would probably be in Japan studying, probably getting the best sushi of her life, which, by the way, they did. They ended up getting the best sushi of her life, and it was amazing. And Mikazuki, she would probably be like going off to, I think she wanted to be a doctor or something. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember everything. But there's another thing where there was like a small little thing of Akira finds out his dad is sick. Like he's really sick. And, since the zombie apocalypse, there hasn't been like an easy way to get medicine or doctors, right? And so there's this moment where this antagonist comes up. He's basically the opposite of Akira. I call him the antagonist for the rest of this video because I just don't remember his name. But he's broken, right? He was a very introverted character. He didn't really talk to too many people. Like as a kid, him and his friends would go swimming and stuff, right? But growing up, he realized like I don't really have too many friends. He sits by himself most of the time. And there was just this moment where Akira and Kensho, all in college, right? He wanted to make himself feel better. He wanted to go out and try and put himself out there. So he did. It didn't end up working. But there was this moment where on the sidewalk, Akira, Kensho, and a bunch of their friends, Akira was just like looking all bright and optimistic and happy. And you had this antagonist coming along and just like looking at him and like, why is he so happy? And it's just really a pessimistic side of that antagonist, right? And it just made him hate Akira, and I don't know, that's just D1 hating at that point, because like, why you hating on the nigga for being happy? You know what I'm saying? But I can understand it a little bit, because like you're going through it and you see other people like that are not going through it, right? Because you don't really see what's going on the inside. You only see it from what's happening outside in your perspective. So it looks like they're all happy and bubbly and giddy and just like ready to go out there and just take over the world, right? And then you have this antagonist, introverted, can't really talk to too many people, and he's just like looking in on Akira and just realizing how happy it is, and it just makes him hate Akira, right? And they come up to this village, right? The antagonist and his buddies come up to the village. They set it to fire. They blow everything up, let in zombies, and everything goes to shit, right? But there's a moment like episode 11, I want to say, where he has Akira's dad, has him by like a stick or something. He's just like, if you don't come out here and turn yourself into a zombie, I'm gonna push your dad and you're gonna hear him get turned into a zombie. So Akira has to go through this whole thing like, why is he doing this? What could I have done to deserve this? And like shit like that. Man, he comes up with a foolproof plan. Boom, it works. Got the antagonist down to the ground. Akira got him, right? And Akira doesn't do anything. He doesn't hurt him. He doesn't threaten him. He doesn't do anything. He just wants to understand where the antagonist is coming from, right? And it makes the antagonist really feel for Akira, makes him really think about, damn, I really just did all this. I really just hated on this dude for no reason, basically. And they're having this talk, right? And a zombie comes out from nowhere and bites the antagonist in the leg, right? And there's just this beautiful background music, and there's just like the scene of the antagonist looking at Akira and gives him the Nico Robin thing, I want to live, you know what I'm saying? Shit, did that like hit me in the feels, because like I really felt that, like, damn, he really wants to change his ways. Like, sure, he did some fuck shit in the past like 5 minutes, but he still wants to change his ways, right? And Akira understands that, and he feels for the antagonist too. And there's this like flashback moment of Akira asking what the antagonist's goals are and like what he wants to do for himself. And the antagonist looks back on everything that he's done in his life, and he realizes he just wants to go to his pool and swim with his friends. So Akira looks him dead in the eyes while the antagonist is on the ground crying, right? He looks him dead in the eyes, is like, don't worry, whenever I turn into a zombie, we're both going to be zombies, and we can both go swimming together. And that just sets the antagonist off, like tears, waterworks, hugs come in. And there's just this flashback moment where it shows the antagonist looking at Akira, like all the way back in college, where Akira asks him like, hey, do you want to join? Do you want to come with us? We're going to go eat. Do you want to come with us? And the antagonist looks at him, turns around, and just books it, right? And so there's this moment cutting back to the present where the antagonist pushes Akira off, turns around, and starts crying while running straight into the horde of zombies to try and get the zombies away. And like, you could really feel that. You could really feel the emotion coming off of this antagonist. Like, he does want to change, right? And it sucks that he can't now, but he's at least trying to make up for his wrongdoings. And it's just written so well. The dialogue is so well. The voice acting snaps. The VAs just fucking did their shit, and everything just works out for this whole plot point, right? And that's another thing why I like about it. It really gets you to really feel the characters and where they're coming from and what they have gone through in their past before the zombie apocalypse. And it's really amazing. I love it so much, and I can't wait for a season 2. But after that, everything gets situated. They start rebuilding the village, but before they even start rebuilding the village, Akira's mom, while Akira's dad is resting, Akira's mom and him have a talk about his sickness, right? And Akira starts bursting out into tears like he doesn't want to lose his dad. And then his mom comes out and says, oh, it's just hemorrhoids. And everybody starts dying laughing, like, hemorrhoids? And I was giggling to myself. I was like... and she was like, yeah, it's hemorrhoids, but it's still really bad, and it's going to get infected if we don't take care of it as soon as possible, which I understand. But it's just so funny to, like, it's this buildup of like, I thought the nigga had cancer or something, and then it's just this buildup of just, it's hemorrhoids, right? And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, this comedic relief. Like, everything looks like it's going bad, but there's some light at the end of the tunnel, and you can see the light. And it's just well done, and it's amazing, and I love it. But after all that, they rebuild the village. They get Mr. Kumano to help rebuild the village. And if he comes out, helps, he gets accompanied with the whole villagers, and he just starts working, right? And then there's just this moment of like Akira and the crew just going out and waving their goodbyes, saying bye, and like being taken off and just like being pulled towards wherever they go next, just following the wind. And there's just these cutscenes and these flashes of just like all the fun stuff that they're doing, and the credits roll in, of course, and then that's the episode, which I think was a really good episode to end on. I think it works for, like, I think this 12 or 13 episode anime. It works really well, and there's just so much I've said about this anime already, and I'm not gonna reiterate most of it, but it's a great anime. You should go watch it. I'm hoping you'll enjoy it as much as I did, and who knows, maybe I'll start talking about more animes that, like, I really feel as if I should talk about, or if I want to talk about, I'll bring it to the channel. But anyway, that being said, I appreciate you guys for watching this long ass video. I'm sorry, I'm going to edit this down as much as I can, but I appreciate you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. If you guys did enjoy, please hit the like, subscribe if you want to, and with all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.